your computer or phone is your Flow Cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website, it's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for Flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Staying healthy has taken on a whole new meaning these days. So we ask, why do you put your health first?
As a business professional, I need to make the most out of my work days.
I'm a teacher and I want to be there for my students.
In sports, I have to be in top form for my team.
Motherhood, I just got to keep up with my kids.
Because my patients rely on me to be at my best.
Staying healthy is important for many of us, and Halib Orange makes it easy. Just one 1,000 milligram tablet of vitamin C gives your immune system a flavorful boost, leaving you protected and feeling good for the day ahead. Halib Orange Vitamin C. Just pop the cap, drop it in water, let it fizz, and enjoy. Part of the Halib Orange family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, St Kitts and Nevis. You're listening to WINN FM 98.9. I am your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this edition of Voices. Today is Wednesday, July 14, 2021, and this is Voices. Let me say good morning to all of you who are joining us today, whether it be via the radio, if you're joining via the World Wide Web, our website at www.WINNmediaskn.com, or if you're joining via Facebook or YouTube or any other social media platform. Good morning, and thank you guys so much for tuning into this edition of Voices. Good morning to all of our hardworking frontline workers. Yes, we are still in the COVID-19 pandemic. Our authorities are still making every effort, in my opinion, to control this situation, to control the spread of the virus. And I think for the most part, they have been really trying, and they have been doing their very best. From oftentimes we would stay on the outside and we would criticize and we would say what should be done better, what could have been done, or what should not have been done. But really and truly, as I often say, unless you are in the kitchen, you may never feel the heat. And so we are not health professionals. We are not on the front line, so we may not understand what it means to be on the front line. Nevertheless, it does not say that we cannot offer criticism, constructive criticism. Nevertheless, it does not say that we cannot oppose or say, well, make a suggestion to say that this should have happened against that happening. But I want to publicly applaud our healthcare professionals, our workers who are on the front line every day, who are risking their lives to make sure that the COVID-19 virus is controlled here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Let us say thank you to the sponsors for this program, for this edition of Voices. And when we come back, we are going to kickstart this conversation today. Let's take this break to say thank you to the sponsors for this program. We will be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Your computer or phone is your flow cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website, it's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Ah, outfit for my girl's wedding? Click.
With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free US mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voices on WINN FM 98.9. It's just 10 minutes past the hour of 11, and you're listening to WINN FM 98.9. Of course, I am your host for today's edition of Voices, Devon Cornelius. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in to this edition. I'm happy to be alive. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning here in St Kitts and Nevis. The sun is shining in all its glory. And I would say I believe that you too are very much happy to be alive. Today we want to take a look at some of the issues affecting the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And of course, as this is Voices, I will give you the opportunity to voice your opinion and to give your stance on the issues and other developments that have taken place throughout the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis for the past week and over the past few hours. I had the opportunity of listening to the Leadership Matters program last evening that was hosted by Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris, where some announcements were made. However, I would just want to provide an update regarding an announcement made by the Chief Medical Officer who gave some information as it relates to our COVID-19 management. This is very good news. I think this is what our people have been yearning for, have been begging for. So, according to CMO laws, the current cases are currently on the decline. They are on the decline. And the current outbreak is under control. law said that there are no patients on the COVID-19 ward. Currently, there are no patients on the COVID-19 ward. And so I think this is very good news. I think that we have been doing, well, we have seen definitely some improvements. And this is what we would like to see going forward. We know that COVID-19 is a very fragile situation. The pandemic is a very fragile thing to deal with. And again, those people who have been tasked with the responsibility of managing the effects and the impact of COVID-19, they have a serious task, However, the CMO announced last night that we are doing not 100% good, but we have made some improvements. We are not out of the woods yet. Let me say that. We're not out of the woods yet because, yes, the country is open. People are now going back out to work again. We have a curfew which now begins at 9 p.m. and ends at 5 a.m. the next day. However, that does not mean that COVID-19 is gone. It does not mean that it is not a threat. And so I would want to join with the health officials, the government, in encouraging people to still keep up their guard, still keep up their defense against COVID-19, and really treat the situation as a serious one, and really understand that, it's fragile and anyone could be affected or contract the COVID-19 virus. It is not a death sentence. I know for the past few weeks we have been getting the impression that if you get COVID-19, it is a death sentence and your life is over and there is nothing you can do. If we have been following the science, if we have been listening to our health practitioners, our medical officials, we would realize that, yes, COVID-19 is not a death sentence. And there are so many things that you can do to protect yourself. There are so many things you can do to aid in a speed recovery if you contract the virus. And so, yes, the place is open. Yes, you can go to work. Yes, certain things can happen once there is approval by the relevant authority. However, COVID is still here, and I would want to urge you, my dear people, to keep up your guard and to really continue practicing the non-pharmaceutical measures and to make sure that you do your part in keeping yourself safe. I've said over and over again that COVID-19 is in terms of it affecting you is a personal responsibility, and so if you are determined that you and your family will be safe, then you have that right. It is within your power, within your jurisdiction to make sure that you protect yourself, you protect your family, and you do what you have to do. But nevertheless, I think this is really good news from our health officials. The cases are on the decline, and this is what we would all want to hear. We would hope that we wake up tomorrow and everything is back to normal, but we know that is not the reality. We know that is not the situation, and so we can only hope for the best. We can only do what we have to do to make sure that we get to that stage of where things can go back to normal. The health officials have said that in order for that to happen soon, it depends on us achieving herd immunity, vaccination, and strict compliance with the non-pharmaceutical measures. Also, this was not announced at the program last night, the Leadership Matters program last night. However, this was announced by the Minister of Health, the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, regarding a database for vaccination. And so essentially, if, let's say you are someone who may be having an event an organizer, you may be having a social event, a mass gathering, and what I understand now is that there will be a database with a portal to show event organizers some sort of proof if you have been vaccinated. So I guess upon arrival at the event, you would have to show your vaccination card, and then there will be a barcode on the card or something of that to that extent, and they would scan it, and then they would determine whether or not if this person is vaccinated. I don't know if the database is going to say John Doe took the vaccine or John Doe did not take the vaccine. I don't know if that is the specific, but this is a clip I have here from the Minister of Health when she made the announcement. So let me see if I could pull up that clip. I have it right here. Just give me 1 second. But this was just, the minister explaining the measures or some of the steps that the government has taken to ensure that they have, information regarding vaccination, or to keep a status or keep a track record of, how many persons have been vaccinated and how many persons have not been vaccinated. But essentially, event organizers, you show up to the event, and in order for you to gain access to this event, you would have to show proof that, okay, I've been vaccinated, and the event organizers can check to see, okay, this person is indeed vaccinated. Some persons have said that this is a bold move. It is a bold step. Some persons are in support of this move. Some persons are not in support of this move. Other recommendations that came from people were that perhaps it should have been a situation where you issue vaccination ID cards. And so, when you go to get your driver's license, you get a card. And, when you're stopped by the police, you would have to show them that you've been, you went out, you got your license and all of that. But some of the suggestions were that, okay, let's have a vaccination ID card. So when you show up to the event, then you can show to the person at the entrance, at the gate, that, okay, I've been vaccinated. Now, I guess the concern would come that maybe people would want to forge these cards and want to come up with their own card, and then that would come right back down to having a database where you can scan to show that if this person is truly vaccinated. Now, if you've ever been to a music festival, you would realize that after purchasing a ticket, the ticket would have like a barcode on the back of it. And when you go to enter, even though you have a ticket, they would have to scan that barcode, because believe it or not, there have been attempts by people here to forge tickets and to create fake tickets so that they could gain access to these events. But what the people at the St Kitts Music Festival did, now you purchase your ticket, which would come with a barcode, and they would scan that barcode, and that would indicate whether it is legitimate or not. That would indicate whether it is legitimate or not. So I don't know, this is perhaps the same thing or along the line of what we have seen, done before, not just here, but in other countries. It is 20 minutes past the hour. We'll take a break shortly again to say thank you to the sponsors for this program. Just a quick break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines to hear from our callers. Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
When the star them there, we are top man, we take charge. Have no we drink, we are shell down hard. Blast like a star with some gallop. Over no we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then.
Wine with the style, no stop from spin. And blame back bin and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Your computer or phone is your Flow cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website, it's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for Flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Stores curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Stores curbside pickup service.
Welcome back to Voices on WINN FM 98.9. It's 24 minutes past the hour of 11. The phone lines are open, so we will begin taking your calls to hear your comments and your opinions on this and other issues that are happening here in St Kitts and Nevis. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. You can also send us a WhatsApp at 662-2204. 662-2204. We have our first call for this morning. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm here just saying to my right, look how quick they develop a data for this and to identify vaccinated and unvaccinated people. But yet, to get a birth certificate, you still have to go up the post office, buy a stamp, go up to the building where they have the birth certificate, wait for them to flip through my book to find when you're born, and write out your birth certificate with pen. Up to now, they can't digitize that, but look how quick they could digitize for vaccine and for unvaccinated and vaccinated people. My goodness, Satan really working overtime. You have a good day.
And thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We are still taking calls here on WINN FM 98.9. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. That's a very great observation that was made by the caller there. I know. Okay, we have a caller. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You are on the air. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Just before I was saying, yes, when you have to go to get a birth certificate, it's so much run around, Okay, we have a caller. The caller is back. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. My apologies for that. We seem to have lost that caller. I am sorry about that. We're still taking calls here. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762. Okay, we have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm great. This is Journey here, Mr. Cornelius. The last time we spoke, you threw out a challenge at me, and I haven't got the chance to respond with all that is happening. With your permission, I would like you to permit me to read a little short paragraph to you as a form of me responding to your challenge as to lead. May I?
Pardon?
May I? I'm asking for your permission to read a very short paragraph.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Cornelius, this is a paragraph that was written by a Lord Macaulay, that's Lordmacaulay. It was a speech written by Lord Macaulay to the British Parliament in the 2nd of February, 1835. And I would like for Mrs. Henry to pay attention to this. Good morning, Mrs. Henry. Now, here's what Lord Macaulay wrote when he observed being on the continent of Africa. I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa and have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country, and he was referring to Nigeria at the time. Such high moral value people of such caliber that I don't think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of their nature, of this nation, which is her spirituality and culture, heritage, and her education system. Therefore, I promise that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture. For if the African think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. This was Lord Macaulay's letter to the British Parliament on 2nd February 1835. You can check it out, Mr. Cornelius, on Google.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, here we had this man in 1835 in Nigeria that he said he'd never seen a beggar or a thief and such wealth. And when we are looking at what the African continent is today, they did just exactly what they set out to do. Now, bring that down to us today in the diaspora in the Caribbean. Every English, the Western world, they have generational wealth for their generation and generation to come, and they're still doing it up today. So I want our people to pay attention to this, and they don't have to take my word for it. Do the research, because the truth is available now. This letter that he wrote in 1835 was sealed. As to how it came out now to the Mr. Cornelius, I don't know, but what is done in the dark cannot be hidden forever. The hand of God is at work. Today, a Jamaican politician have wrote to the Queen, ordering her to pay billions in reparation. A copy of that letter was sent to the AG in Britain and the Queen. This, what I'm telling you about with the letter from the Jamaican politician, it's on the Daily Express in Britain. And there's a little paragraph and the picture of the Queen peeping behind a curtain, and then a white lady, English, gave a little 3-minute video clip referring to us as these people, and I'm just paraphrasing what she said. she's saying things like, why don't these people just forget and move on? How can we forget the atrocity that was done? Just a month ago, or 2 months back, the Queen sent a plane with 18 heads of the beheaded kings that was in Britain. 18 heads of our ancestors, heads in jars with water preserved. She sent them back to Britain. Now, what can that do to the atrocity that was done to our people? Mr. Cornelius, I want us to wake up. Social media, I'm going to finish now. Social media is bigger than BBC, CNN, Fox News. What we're seeing on these platforms, they're not going to show us what is happening on the continent of Africa. They're showing us what we want to see. We need to unplug from their narrative. I don't know if I had the opportunity to mention these platforms here, but I'm going to do it now. There's Pan-African Daily TV, where you can know the progress. That's Pan-African Daily TV. There's iGambia, Wake Up Africa, Make Africa Great. And if you want to know about the progress that is happening on the continent of Africa with black people in terms of technology, you can go to ADDI International. ADDI International, and you can see positive things that you will not see from BBC, CNN. The design that they put on Africa is for us to see poverty, killing from Boko Haram, and all the other ills that is going on. But the positive steps that the continent is going towards the future, they will never show us that because they don't want us to go there. The continent that has 60% of the world's raw materials, the West cannot do without it. We have to cripple their narrative in order for us to rise as a people. Think about it, Mr. Cornelius. Lord Macaulay's letter to the British Parliament in 1835, the 2nd of February. Check it out and satisfy yourself and subscribe. Thank you for taking my call.
And as usual, thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. It's just 34 minutes past the hour of 11. Remember, we will be taking a break at 12 for the headline news. We are still taking calls here on WINN FM's Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We have another caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good morning. You are live on Voices.
Good morning, Devon. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
Good morning to all the listeners at home and abroad. I am glad you read the letter because the Africans have not lost their culture. Even when they colonize, they still have their own native languages. They still have their own practices. So they have not succeeded. And that he can confirm. In every country in Africa, you have many languages. So poor Lord Macanay, he did not succeed, so we cannot say succeed. And it is us really who underestimate Africa. It is us because of lack of knowledge. And it might be a good thing, to investigate some of the sites, he says, because you learn. But it is how you interpret the information. Of course we want to see Africa, but we also want to see the Caribbean progress too. You don't go and build up somebody's yard and leave yours in shambles. Now, to the database, because I was a statistician. Now, when you go for your vaccine or your vaccination, you fill out a form which they take and enter into a database. When you go back for your second thing, you fill out another form and it is entered. Because I don't know if you know, but you do not get your vaccination card right away. You know
Hold
that?
on, let me stop you there. When you go to take your vaccine, you fill out a form, right? With
yes,
the information.
And
hold on. They take the information from you and they put it on a clipboard. One, I don't see them put the information into a database. I could be wrong, but I am saying. I know. I'm telling you, it's not done there. Hold on. I'm saying what I've seen happen, and from what other people have said to me. So when you go to take the vaccine, you fill out the information. The information is placed there and they have it on a file. Then after that, you are issued a card to say that you have taken the first dose of the vaccine, and then they would tell you whether you should come back to take the second dose. Now, this is what I have witnessed with my own eyes. Hold on. This is what I've witnessed with my own eyes. Now,
yes, good. I'm listening to you.
Now, if they have a database with the vaccine to show whether you have taken it or not, or to keep a track, that is very good.
There's no database of who haven't taken it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on, Mrs. Henry. Hold on. No, I'm saying that was not done in the initial stage. Why? There have been many people who took their first dose of the vaccine, went back to take their second, and they did not know. The health center did not know, and nobody had a clue when they took the first dose.
That's carelessness.
Yes, but I can show you that it has happened.
I am telling you how database work. Let me say it again. They cannot have a database of who did not take the vaccine. It's impossible. That's what the lady said, They have one for who take and who ain't take. No. They have the database.
So what are you saying? So I want to be clear. So are you saying that they cannot have a database to say who has taken the vaccine?
No, you can't have a database of who have not taken. They cannot.
No, you're not listening to me, no. So, if you have a database, that indicate that, if you have a database to show who have taken the vaccine, that common sense should prevail. That means if your name is not in the database, then you ain't the vaccine.
That's
so even though they will not say that you have not been vaccinated, there would be a list of vaccinated people. And then you would know.
Yeah, but they're not a list of unvaccinated people. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What I'm saying is that if there is a database to say that these people have been vaccinated, and you show up to an event and they scan your card and your name in on the list, that right away would indicate that this person was not vaccinated.
That's all.
Right? Right.
So to suggest that everybody is in the database, so when you go to show up, it will say vaccinated or not. If you show up with your ID, maybe all you need is an ID, a government-issued ID, they look for your name and your address because people have the same name. And it would, you either there or you're not there. As simple as that. Just like how the wage bill. You can't have one who get paid and who don't get paid. Only who you hire would be in your database. So it isn't something that is imaginary. The database is made up of the information that you put into it. Isn't that so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very true.
You can't put in who did not come for the vaccine. That's all I'm trying to say.
I understand what you're saying, But
it's logic. It's statistics.
But it's the same difference.
It's the same difference.
Yes,
There is no database with people's names who have not been vaccinated. So we can't give people the wrong impression. So how they got me name?
No. I'm not trying to give anybody the wrong impression.
Not saying it was said by
I'm trying to say that it is the same difference.
Cannot be the same difference.
The same difference. If you have a list.
Anyway, you want to hold on to your point? Hold on. Let me ask the next question.
No.
I done,
telling you.
I done long time ago. Let me go to the next point. Because I doze off between, when they're talking, I get sleepy by the time. The financial secretary was talking about the procedure in applying or something. Yes. I did hear her say that they're going to start taking something, and by the first week, the last week in July, they start to pay. Where do you go to register?
Where do you go to register to be on this program?
No, to get the stimulus, no?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I think I dozed off or something. I didn't hear her. I did hear her say that they're going to take the names and then start the processing, because the Social Security is going to back check every name submitted to see if they were hired.
Okay, what I could tell you, just received the information. So what I can tell you is that, so it applies to people unemployed, right? Since March.
Yeah, I know.
31st.
It's supposed to be. Who should have been?
Since March 31st, 2020, right? And it says that you would have to submit a completed application form and a copy of a valid Social Security card to the Ministry of Finance. So basically, you apply.
Ministry of Finance, you carry to this time?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to know. If it was, I thought it was the Labor Department and then the Social Security.
No, according to this, according to the secretary, you carry it to the Ministry of Finance. But I have some other callers on the line, so that I'll end this
I
call
just wanted
with
that.
one other
I didn't
callers
get it. All right then.
Okay, have a good one. We are still taking calls here on WINN FM 98.9. Let us take these other calls. Do we have? Is the caller still on? Okay, we have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Yes, good morning. I'm trying to understand Miss Henry's point about that they don't have a database with the names of people that are unvaccinated. Regardless whether they have your name right down to say that you're unvaccinated. The point is, if you cannot remain discreet, your privacy is invaded, because once you go to these places and you give your name, it automatically going to say, well, you're not vaccinated, you're not in the system. So your privacy right there, everybody know you're unvaccinated. So I don't see what Miss Henry point, no matter how you slice it or you dice it. It all come out the same way.
It's the same thing.
I'm trying to understand her point. So it's like your privacy is still given out. You have no privacy. You lose your privacy. You see what I'm trying to say? You have a good day.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, caller, for and I share your point. I mean, you show up to the event and there's a database with people who have been vaccinated. If I show up with somebody who I know ain't take the vaccine, that is between me and the person. So I am the only person who would know if this individual has taken the vaccine. If you show up and your name is not in that database, right away, it would indicate that you have not been vaccinated. Why? Because your name is not in the system. So I don't see the huge difference here. We have another caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good morning. You are on the air. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Apologies. It is 15 minutes to the hour of 12. We are going to take some calls right up until midday. Let's take this caller. Caller, good morning, on the air.
Mr. Cornelius.
Good morning.
Bernie here again. With respect, I would like to disagree with Mrs. Henry, because in my opinion, just what Lord Macaulay set out to, what he wrote to the British Parliament is just what happened. The fact that he says that he will never able to conquer these people until he broke the backbone of these people from their culture, their spirituality, and their education system. That's exactly what they did. Now, remember he said he'd never come across a beggar or a thief. They had their system, and if I can just add to that, in terms of person, people, place, or things, the suffix or the prefix is the word of person, people, place, or thing, mean the creator. And I want Miss Henry to know that I cannot kick against the prick. I was brought up in the church. The creator, all things are an extension of the creator. If we believe that civilization or humanity began on the continent of Africa, when God himself created mankind, there was a form of communication. The suffix of the prefix and all that is entailed. There was that form of communication. The order that was established by God with his creation was the form of communication. Now, when Lord Macaulay went, whether it was in 1885 or before, human being was established, was created before 1835. He wrote the letter in 1835. So yes, I have to disagree with Mrs. Henry, because this is exactly what they did. And this is why we don't have our own curriculum in our schools. Because just what he wrote is what they did. Can you imagine, Cornelius, a continent of Africa that didn't have a beggar or a thief before Lord Macaulay put his foot on the continent? And here's another thing that we should ponder. If Europe was such a great empire, why did they have to leave and go onto the African continent? If they were so great with all that they had established, why did they go onto the African continent? You know why they went there? They were fighting against themselves. They were killing themselves on their continent in Europe until Bismarck, who called that conference in Berlin in 1884, and this is when they cut up our continent. And the design that they placed on it from 1884, things were happening before 1884. So yes, Mrs. Henry, I have to disagree with you. And even the very thing that they give us here in the book. Now here is it. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. And that's all they have done to us. Their hands are washing blood. From the Church of England to the Vatican, their hands are washing our blood of our ancestors. The Queen of England sent back 18 heads of our beheaded kings just 2 months ago to South Africa. Can that fix the genocide that was done to our people? 18 heads, Mr. Cornelius, in jars with preserved water. What they have them over there doing? And she agreed to send them back 2 months ago to South Africa. The genocide that was done, who is going to take these people to The Hague? Who is going to call them responsible for the atrocity that was done on our people? The curriculum that we have in our schools, on the continent of Africa and in the Caribbean, they gave us their curriculum to hide our history from us. But the truth is available, Mr. Cornelius. Do your research. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Carlos, so much for your contribution. It is just 11 minutes to the hour of 12, and we're still taking calls here on WINN FM 98.9. You're listening to Voices. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. You can also leave us a comment on our Facebook stream at WINNmediaSKN.com. It's 11:50, and we are still taking your calls. We have a caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good morning. You are live.
Good morning to Deborah and Cornelius here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Now I'm here listening to the program as usual. Last night I listened to the leadership matters with the Prime Minister and his team. And a lady calling talking about banker. She said she's a banker. And several times I hear her calling on different radio talk shows and talking about banking, and she sounds interesting. And she said that what government should do, get people more in education to, got some class, got some forum that people could educate towards banking and saving and all those things. And she's all right. Because in our little federation, some people work with their money. They don't even know what to do with their money. Brother Cornelius, they don't even know what to do with their money. I know people had 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, and working for good money, some ain't have no children. And you're going to tell me that these people come down old and don't even got a house, don't even got nothing? I mean, this COVID that teaches a lesson, This COVID just teaches a good lesson. Because now that we're in this situation now, the country got to lock down because of community spread, and some people cannot go to work to feed their family, and some people using from paycheck to paycheck. Some people didn't have a saving at all, and it's really hard for some people out there who's struggling, especially with their children. So I believe, Brother Carlinhos, that this COVID has taught us a lesson, and people should more. When they work with the money, save a little thing. Brother Carlinhos, I telling you, I come apart, my mother had 14 of us. And I telling you, from the time I start to work, brother, I always put something aside. Look how small it is to make a $20. I put something in the $20. And where I be now, Brother Carlinhos, I could tell you, I'm proud of myself to work and come up. I ain't got to depend on nobody for nothing. You understand? We got to find a way for ourselves. And the call of the year, Lord Macaulay, I want to know that if he living in St Kitts, I live in America, I live in Africa, because he focusing about Africa. And I believe God create the world, and God give man wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. God lead man to everything. The Bible did to direct man. You understand? But because a man wicked, there's a man deceitfulness, and wouldn't follow God's word, that we end up in the wrong direction. I ain't say that somebody ain't supposed to come and taught us. I mean, you got educated people who know man you will taught us things. But I believe common sense and wisdom, because people mislead you too. Because he reading the book about Macaulay, I don't know if that is the truth or not. You know? I come up with my parents, them serving God, going to church, carrying us to church, read our Bible, so our prayers. And that is how we come up. And before God, just want to tell me good friend up there, Canary, Connecticut, I love her a lot. And one of these days when she comes to St Kitts, I want to meet her. Canary, you have a good day. I love you a lot. You respect yourself, and I have nothing against you. You're a Christian lady. You're about the Bible. I'm about the Bible too. But I just a follower of Christ. I wouldn't say I'm a Christian, because I Christian is who don't do the right thing for God, and try to be on the right track. You understand? I am not a Christian, but I'm a follower of Christ. I read my Bible and try to do the right thing. I am perfect, no one perfect, and that is it, just it. But I call in us until you come back on that. And the phone line, let me give you some trouble, man. The phone line, let me give you a lot of trouble. Just now, you pick me up, and then the phone get cut off. And I was I just started, the phone just started ringing. So I don't know. And the 662 ain't working. The 762 is not working either. When you call in, the machine coming on and just talking. All right then. You have a wonderful lunch.
Okay, you too. And thank you for pointing that out. We'll try to get that sorted out as soon as possible. It is 6 minutes before the hour of 12, and we're going to take just one more call. We'll take one more call, and then we're going to begin wrapping up this program. Let me use this opportunity now to say thank you to all of you for tuning into this edition of Voices on WINN FM 98.9. I've been your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We'll take this break at 12 for the headline news, and we'll come back thereafter to continue this conversation today. If you have any callers, you can call at this time. Considering that those two numbers are not working, we'll stick with the 466 number. Let's take this last call for the morning. Caller, good morning. You are live.
Yes, I'm glad I'm the last before lunch, because I have heard news of some people who still walking with the mask under their chin. I don't think we understand, I love your introduction. And we must give God thanks, We must give God thanks, because Libya is around the corner. That's where our people live. And you have heard of the spread that continues, and we still have some ignorant people who insist on having their own way. You may not believe in COVID, that is your personal thing, but you are affecting other people. Somebody told me they went to a place, and the person who had the thing under the chin, talking loud and making more noise in a line, So the police think, because they like to bawl, oh, poor people, and poor people get ticket. where the poor people act ignorant. So please, do your best. If you know you want to take a breather, just go in a corner by yourself or something. But keep on the mask. Maybe you miss the lockdown. I sure Cornelius doesn't. You came on the boat today? Cornelius?
No, I did not.
Are you still with St Kitts? Boy, come down. You're brave. So you pray, fast and pray and come down. All right then. So please advise them to, when you're out in the open, keep on the mask. Keep your negative thing to yourself. Other people want to live, other people want to participate. When you come back, I want to discuss the matter of what people call discrimination against people who don't take the vaccine. In terms of attending functions, I want you to discuss that. All right.
Okay, thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. We'll take this break now for the headline news, and we'll be back there after. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this edition of Voices. I've been your host for today for the first hour. I'll be back for the second hour, Yvonne Cornelius. Thank you guys. Have a good lunch. I'll be back. Stay tuned to WINN FM 98.9.
Your computer or phone is your Flow cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website. It's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for Flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
Found the sound. 98.9 WINN FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs. And make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the WINN Headline News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Devon Cornelius.
Making the headlines.
Opposition parliamentarian calls for stimulus package for Nevis. MP Stapleton Simmons says there is nothing progressive about the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority bill.
Now, the details.
I must say that I am a bit disappointed for the meeting in the House today, because, Mr. President, one perhaps would have hoped that coming out of a lockdown, a week lockdown, where we had at least 3 days of 24-hour curfew, as well as 2 days of restricted curfew, as well as at least 3 weeks or 4 weeks of community spread of the COVID-19 virus in the Federation of St Kitts and Nevis, that we perhaps would have come to the House today to put a stimulus package in place for the citizens of Nevis.
Were the comments echoed by Honourable Cleone Stapleton Simmons, Member of Parliament for Nevis 5, St Thomas's Parish. The opposition parliamentarian in her presentation also stated that her constituents have raised the questions regarding the economic relief measures announced by Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris on July 8th, expressing their uncertainty whether the measures apply to Nevis.
A number of constituents, and by extension the wider community of Nevis, have been posing some questions to the opposition. I wish to you, Mr. President, to perhaps make this Honourable House aware of some of the concerns that persons have raised, perhaps more specifically against the backdrop, Mr. President, of the address that the Honourable Prime Minister made last week, Thursday, in his address to the Federation, as it relates to the economic stimulus package. Persons have been asking, is that incentive of the economic stimulus package also applicable to Nevisians? For example, if I am permitted to be more specific, Mr. President, a dear constituent last week asked, and I posed a question to the Honourable Premier, if bus drivers on Nevis will get the same stimulus package that those that the Prime Minister have announced for those on St Kitts.
Honourable Stapleton Simmons made those comments during her presentation at a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly at Hamilton House on Tuesday, July 13th, 2021, which saw the tabling of the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority Bill 2021, which was passed, and the introductions and first readings of other bills. On Thursday, July 8th, 2021, Prime Minister Harris announced at his press conference new economic relief measures aimed at assisting those affected financially by the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the measures announced included a $15 million income support program geared towards alleviating hardships of those unemployed since the onset of the pandemic in March 2020. The program will see a $1,000 stipend paid to qualified applicants for 3 months. Honourable Cleone Stapleton Simmons, opposition parliamentarian, says there is nothing progressive about the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority Bill 2021, which was passed at a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly on Tuesday, July 13th, 2021 in Charlestown.
I must say, the first observation, Mr. President, is that the bill is somewhat of a standard procedural legislation. there is nothing, in my respectful opinion, progressive about this bill. It does not, in my respectful opinion, Mr. President, encourage innovation in research or technologies to manage solid waste in this digital era. You would have heard it from the very mover of the bill, and as well as the member for number 1, in his support for the resolution, stated quite clearly that the facility that we have presently at the solid waste over at Long Point, that we perhaps would have surpassed that facility, and there is a need for either expansion or a separate facility so that we can adequately manage waste. The question for the members opposite: what is stopping the government from putting this infrastructure in place? I do not know. I would leave it for them to respond accordingly.
The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority Bill 2021, which repeals and replaces the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority Ordinance, Chapter 3.03, was tabled by Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, Junior Minister of Health in the Nevis Island Administration, earlier this year. The new ordinance will provide for the management of solid waste, including its collection, storage, and disposal in conformity with the best environmental practices and for other related or connected matters. It will also seek to implement a practical system that allows the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority to have full oversight of the management of the process undertaken by the authority. The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority Ordinance, which was enacted in January 2003, was modeled from the St. Christopher and Nevis Solid Waste Management Corporation Act 1996. That ordinance established the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority and gave it the responsibility for waste collection, storage, treatment, and disposal in Nevis. The sitting also saw the introductions and first readings of the Nevis International Insurance Amendment Bill 2021 and the Nevis Building Contractors Registration and Regulation Bill 2021.
Honorable Spencer Brand, Minister responsible for Labour in the Nevis Island Administration (NIA), has assured that severance payments to workers who lost their jobs on Nevis due to the COVID-19 pandemic continue to roll out, and so far in excess of 11 million EC dollars has been settled in claims for 2020 and 2021. The minister made the disclosure while addressing the status of severance payments at a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly at Hamilton House on July 13, 2021.
In 2020, Mr. President, we saw some 759 claims submitted for severance payment. That was to the extent in 2020 of the impact of COVID on the island of Nevis. In 2021, thus far, we have seen some 69 claims for severance payment. Mr. President, out of the 759 claims of 2020, we have seen some $5,067,772.72 paid. We still have some 184 claims of 2020 still outstanding. Mr. President, in 2021 thus far, we have seen some $6,530,268.24 paid in severance payment. That gives a combination of 2020 and 2021 of some $11,598,040.96. up until July 12, 2021.
Brand added that to date 740 claims have been approved. There are 83 claims pending and 5 have been disqualified. Also, all claimants who were receiving installments of $20,000 have been paid in full. The Minister of Labour also noted that 18 of the 69 applications submitted in 2021 have already been approved, and most of the 184 pending applications for 2020 have been processed in 2021. Brand indicated that the volume of claims have undoubtedly been a shock to the severance system, and the numbers are indicative of what has transpired so far regarding severance claims on Nevis. He called on those who are awaiting settlement to be tolerant, since it has been a tedious, meticulous, and time-consuming process. Brand also used the opportunity to say to those who have already received payments to use it wisely and spend it carefully in light of the looming uncertainty COVID-19 has brought.
In regional news,
in this edition of the Caribbean News Roundup, no entry into Grenada for non-vaccinated foreigners. The former St. Lucia Prime Minister, who has just left the ruling UWP, is not ruling out participation in a coalition government. Updates on Haiti and Cuba and more developments. The news coming right up. In St. Lucia, is former Prime Minister Stephenson King moving out of the governing United Workers' Party to join the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party. King confirmed earlier this week that he is abandoning the UWP and will instead run as an independent candidate in the general elections coming up in 12 days. That has raised a speculation within the SLP that he is crossing over to join them. However, in a press conference on Monday, Stephenson King denied that is the case, although he indicated that he has not ruled out being part of a coalition government.
No. The Labour Party has never approached me to join the ranks. They have never approached me to join the ranks. And again, let me state this. Throughout my years in politics, from 1987, I've had an excellent relationship with every single member of Parliament. Sir Julian Hunt, all of them, including Philip Pierre, Kenny Anthony, and the rest. It is a decent relationship. It is a relationship of parliamentarians. Notwithstanding all the rhetoric that may come out, there are a number of cabinet ministers who are disgruntled. A number of cabinet ministers who have spoken to me in the corridors about the treatment, about the behavior, about what goes on, and the manner in which they are suffering. And they speak to me in the corridors, in private, about their experience. And therefore, you should not be surprised if at any time some of those won't step out and raise their hands and say we've had enough.
St. Lucians go to the polls on July 26 to elect a new government. Grenada's Health Minister Nicholas Steele announced on Tuesday that unvaccinated foreign travelers will not be allowed into the country. That's one of two measures the government hopes will help contain the number of confirmed cases in the Spice Isle. It is expected to take effect on the 31st of July.
Outside of citizens and residents of Grenada, no one is allowed to enter Grenada unless they are fully vaccinated. So citizens and residents can return through Grenada, whether vaccinated or unvaccinated. But any visitor to Grenada must be fully vaccinated from the 31st of July. We have given, we hope, enough notice for individuals. We do apologize for any inconvenience that this may bring to persons. We've had consultations with the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, the GTA, and other stakeholders as well to give them as much warning as possible.
The other protocol has to do with adults traveling with children.
Effective immediately, persons 13 years and under traveling with a fully vaccinated party will be treated like that party as fully vaccinated with respect to quarantine. So if you're traveling with children 13 and under, and you and everyone else in the travel party of age is fully vaccinated, then the entire party will only have to do 48 hours quarantine.
A leading trade union in Dominica has thrown its weight behind the increase in the island's minimum wage. The General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, DPSU, Thomas Later, has endorsed the development, confirming that the union is in full support of that increase. The increase is scheduled to take effect in about a month and a half from the 1st of September. Minister of National Security and Home Affairs, Rayburn Blackmore, made the announcement last week, explaining that the new minimum wage is in line with the current market situation and realities of Dominicans. In a DNO release, Later says the DPSU is happy that the minimum wage has been increased. He is of the view that it is within a range where employers can afford to pay without having to send home staff and without the closure of businesses. It is a view that some business owners do not share. For his part, however, Thomas Later says that the review of the wage increase is something that the Dominica Public Service Union had been requesting for a long time. He was part of the committee established to review the matter and explains that the work of the committee involved, quote, a lot of intensive research, end quote. To Haiti now. Authorities have arrested a Haitian-born Florida resident who they say acted as a middleman between the alleged assassins and the unnamed masterminds. The man, identified as 63-year-old Christian Emmanuel Sanon, was accompanied by several of the suspected assailants when he allegedly flew to the Caribbean nation on a private jet in early June. That's according to Leon Charles, head of the Haitian National Police. Sanon had allegedly hired the Colombian nationals through a Florida-based Venezuelan security firm to protect him and his business, but they later received a new mission: arrest the president of Haiti, according to Charles. Following Sunday's protests in Cuba, world leaders are expressing their support for the Cuban people after the demonstrations across the island. The foreign minister for the European Union, Josep Borrell, urged the Cuban government, quote, to listen to these protests of discontent, end quote, during a press conference Monday in Brussels after meeting with EU foreign ministers. Erica Guevara Rosas, American director at Amnesty International, called Sunday's protests, quote, a historic day for Cuba, end quote, while expressing concerns over reports of, quote, internet blackouts, arbitrary arrests, excessive use of force, including police firing on demonstrators, end quote, as well as, quote, a long list of missing persons, end quote. According to VOA, Guevara Rosas called on Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel and his government to, quote, address the social demands of its citizens given the economic crisis, the shortages of food and medicine, the collapse of the health system, which is not responding to the current COVID-19 crisis, and the accumulation of historical demands for respect of the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly, end quote. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador told reporters in Mexico City Monday that a, quote, truly humanitarian gesture, end quote, would be for the United States to lift the 5-decade economic embargo of Cuba. No country in the world should be fenced in, blockaded, he said. And that's the Caribbean News Roundup for today, Wednesday, July 14th. I'm Ken Richards. Thanks for listening.
We now bring you these international reports.
Under pressure from dissenting MPs in all parties, the government granted Parliament a vote on its decision to cut overseas aid.
Theresa May.
Opposition was loudest among its own, with a former Prime Minister leading the charge.
We made a promise to the poorest people in the world. The government has broken that promise. This motion means that promise may be broken for years to come. With deep regret, I will vote against the motion today.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson opened the debate saying this was an argument not about principle but practicality. The foreign aid cut would be temporary, he said, just until Britain's finances recovered from the crippling cost of the pandemic.
This year, our national debt is climbing towards 100% of GDP, the highest for nearly 6 decades. The House knows that the government has been compelled to take wrenching decisions, and the International Development Act of 2015 expressly provides that fiscal circumstances can allow a departure from the 0.7% target.
Opponents and rebels within his own party weren't persuaded. The cut from 0.7% of GDP to 0.5 is already in place for this year. That means more than $5 billion lost in funding for life-saving projects across the developing world, and at a time when it's never been needed more. In Parliament, there were predictions that 100,000 people may die as a result, with millions more facing malnutrition. The UK has until now been one of the world's leading foreign aid donors, the first G7 country to enshrine in law an international commitment to give away 0.7% of gross domestic product. That's a distinction many MPs were unwilling to give up, and one they'll now see as a blow to Britain's image and its soft power in the world. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, London.
Angry and in mourning, Iraqis bury their loved ones. The victims of the fire were mostly receiving treatment for COVID-19. At the burned-out ward, relatives arrived to help search for remains under the debris. They say the lack of safety equipment and an evacuation plan made the disaster worse.
This is the result of corrupt regimes. If it hadn't been for these young volunteers here, many more people would have died. We're holding the government and the health director of the province responsible for this crime.
Forensic doctors say 5 members of one family are among the victims, with many of the dead too badly burned to be identifiable by relatives. Outside the morgue, Mustafa waited with others, hoping for news about his mother. He says he couldn't identify her among other victims.
I've been searching for her since yesterday. Where shall I go now? When the fire broke out, we tried to break the door down to rescue her and the other patients, but it was too late.
According to medical sources, the fire started when an oxygen tank used for treating COVID patients exploded. Flammable materials used in the construction of the walls of this center, including foam, helped fuel the fire. The victims died from both burns and suffocation. This is the second blaze at a COVID-19 unit in an Iraqi hospital in 3 months. In April, a fire killed 82 COVID patients at a hospital in Baghdad. The health sector in Iraq has been hit by years of chaos and mismanagement. It seems there is little hope of the situation improving anytime soon, and it's the patients who are paying the price. Mahmoud Abdul Wahid, Al Jazeera, in Nasiriyah City, southern Iraq.
You were listening to the WINN FM headline news on 98.9. Our top stories were:
Opposition parliamentarian calls for stimulus package for Nevis. MP Stapleton Simmons says there is nothing progressive about the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority bill.
Thank you for listening.
That was the WINN FM headline news. The headline news was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribou.
Did Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organisation on St Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag Specials from July 15 through 28. 32-ounce Gatorade, just $4.99. Hawaiian Punch drinks, $11.99. Danone and Activia yogurts, 4 packs, fit and light, just $12.99. Cole's garlic bread, toast, $12.99. Granola bars, just $10.99 per pack. pastoroni, or rice-a-roni, just $4.99. And now, our very low weekly value deal. Essential Everyday and IGA Honey Beer, $12.99. Breyers Ice Cream, 48 ounces, just $20.99. Colgate Toothpaste, $9.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Voices on WINN FM 98.9. It is 12:32 and we are back to continue our conversation here on air today. I'm your host for this afternoon's edition, Devon Cornelius. Let me say good afternoon to all of you who have joined us, whether you are joining via the radio at 98.9 FM or you have joined via the World Wide Web at www.WINNmediaskn.com, or if you're a social media person and you are joining via Facebook or YouTube or Periscope or, yes, Twitch. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the second half of the July 14th edition of Voices here on WINN FM 98.9, and I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We had a very exciting morning. A number of issues were discussed. The callers had the opportunity to participate and lend their opinion and views, which were really, really good. Nevertheless, we are going to continue our conversation this afternoon, and I'm going to open the phone lines early. And I'm going to allow you to call in. At this time, the only number that is in operation is the 466-0989. Let me humbly apologize for any inconvenience that may have been caused. But you can call us at 466-0989. If you, for some reason, may not be able to call, you can also send a WhatsApp at 662-2204. 662-2204. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, some of the issues we looked at were the recent announcement that was made by the Health and Entertainment Minister, the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet, regarding a database for vaccination records, so that when you go to attend an event, the organizer would be able to prove if you have been vaccinated against the coronavirus disease. I assume that you would have to present some sort of information to the person at the gate. They will scan your information and they will be able to verify whether you have been fully vaccinated or not. Also, we received an update from the Chief Medical Officer regarding the COVID-19 situation. And of course, we can see for ourselves if we have been following the updates that have been coming from the task force or the Ministry of Health or the public health team regarding the COVID-19 numbers. We would realize that we're now getting single digits, and so the numbers are not as high as they once were, which is really, really good, and we hope that we can continue on this path. For the second half, I wanted to touch on some announcements that were made during a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly on Tuesday. That was yesterday, Tuesday, July 13th. One of the announcements that made the headlines and were on, all across social media was the announcement by Nevis's Minister of Culture, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, regarding the postponement of activities for Culturama 47. And so instead of these activities being held in late July, early August, the Culturama Secretariat and the Nevis Island Administration have decided that these activities should be postponed. Now, that had to happen because, the recent lockdown, Nevis came out of a lockdown, a week lockdown. St Kitts was on a 24-hour lockdown, a 2-week lockdown, sorry, and that would have, that had, let me say, a negative impact on the preparation for Culturama. And so normally you would have people preparing for the Calypso shows, the different shows and all of that. These activities were significantly affected because this is where, people would come over from St. Kitts to participate in these activities. In particular, you have the Soca Monarch, the Calypso show, and some of the band members are from St. Kitts. And so because of the lockdown, they were unable to come over to Nevis to have rehearsal. And so that was a serious impact on Culturama. And of course, the Secretariat felt that, if they had to go forward, it would not have been as a quality that they would have liked it to be. And so they have decided to postpone these activities, and these activities will coincide with the independence celebrations. Now, there was an announcement made by the culture minister which stated that there will be an event dubbed a T-shirt fest, where you at a controlled environment or at a controlled area, only fully vaccinated people will be allowed to attend this event. And at this event, they will be selling T-shirts. Yes, they will be selling T-shirts. And so basically, you can go and have a good time, but this will only be for persons who have been fully vaccinated. Now, we saw some mixed feedback on this announcement. Some people felt that it was a good move. Others felt that it was not, and you should allow everyone to attend this event, whilst others practice the pharmaceutical measures. We realize that the world is changing, and these measures that have been announced, these measures are ways for there to be an increased vaccination. And a way to put it simple, a way to encourage people to take the vaccine, because you say, boy, I want to attend this fete, I want to attend this activity, so let me go and get vaccinated. For example, the CPL, which was announced for only people who have been fully vaccinated, that too, I think, helped persons to overcome the vaccine hesitancy, and they went out and they got vaccinated simply because they wanted to be able to attend CPL. So we are seeing some mixed feedback on this. I want to get the feedback of you, our listeners here today on WINN FM 98.9, and so I'm going to open the phone lines. It is 12:40, and we are going to begin taking your calls. You can call us at 466-0989. Remember, you can also leave us a comment on our Facebook page at WINN Media SKN. I am going to be monitoring the Facebook stream as best as I can, and I will be following the comments that are made. Now, this is very it's a ticklish situation. After the announcement, you saw some comments and you were like, okay, this is getting serious. This is getting serious. It seems as if, as people are suggesting on Facebook, there is this pull and tug between vaccinated and unvaccinated. But what I would say, I am not surprised, because I know we would have gotten to this point where certain activities, certain amenities, certain services would not be accessible to people who are not vaccinated against COVID-19. I was on the embassy of a particular country a few days ago, right? And in order for you to get access to this country, you would have to vaccinate for tuberculosis and other diseases. I don't remember the exact diseases that they listed, but they did list that you had to be vaccinated against a particular disease or two to enter the country. Now, this is quite similar to the issue of mandatory vaccination, or people, having to be fully vaccinated before they can enter a particular country. We know here in St Kitts and Nevis, you can't enter if you've not been fully vaccinated. However, they're making an exemption for citizens and residents who have not been fully vaccinated. But we're seeing now where countries are moving towards saying, hey, you can't come here unless you've been fully vaccinated. So some people may question the fairness, for lack of a better word, of this move, but it is where the world is going. And so, yes, you would have those people who would say, look, I prefer not to be vaccinated. And then, of course, you would have those who cannot, because of medical reasons, be vaccinated. Of course, I believe an exemption would be made for them. Of course, once they provide the necessary information that in fact, that they can't be vaccinated. But we're going to see a situation where, sad to say, and I'm going to try to say this as respectful as possible, where it seems as if that the world would want to move on without persons who have been fully vaccinated, because it will get to a point where you would have to be vaccinated or you can't enjoy certain amenities. Now, the situation, I believe, with the vaccine hesitancy here in St Kitts and Nevis is not more so about, actually taking a vaccine. I think many of the concerns that have been raised is taking this particular vaccine. From what I've been seeing, on social media and in talking with the people, there are some people that have said that they will travel to take a different vaccine and then they would come back. And so that is their fear, that is their genuine fear. They don't think that they should be taking this vaccine. Other persons believe that there should have been a choice where, okay, you either take the Johnson & Johnson or you take the AstraZeneca or something along that line. But considering here where, they would say you have a choice, yes, but really and truly, there's not much of a choice because there's only one vaccine to take. There's only one vaccine there to take. And so that has created a lot of uncertainty and a lot of, really making the whole environment and the whole situation very uncomfortable, because people are not as open to being vaccinated with the AstraZeneca. Many persons would prefer a different type of the vaccine. We have our first caller for this afternoon, so let us take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are live on Voices. We seem to have lost that caller. Let me apologize for that. Caller, you can try us again at 4660989. We are still taking your calls here on WINN FM 98.9. It is just 40 minutes to the hour of 1. We'll try to take a break at 1 to say thank you to the sponsors for this program. At this time, we'll stay taking calls, so let us take some calls again. For those of you who just called, who just tuned in, sorry. Numbers are 4660989. We have a caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. Oh, we seem to have lost that call. We are experiencing some difficulties with our phone lines. I am very sorry. We have a caller. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon.
The phone line, they want to check out, man.
Yeah, we're working on that.
You answer me just now, soon as you pick up the phone cut out.
Oh boy, I'm so sorry about that.
I hear when you're talking, I hear when you answer me, I answer you, know. And I hear you, but the phone just cut out just so. I don't have any problem, but something need to be done. Now, Devon, when you put on the television, put on the news, go on social media, is everything now that they got to do for you to take this vaccine? If we got to go jump on a plane to go to a next country, we got to take the vaccine. And, you know, the situation is there that, you know, without the vaccine now we look like that you cannot enter to a sport, you cannot enter to an arena or nothing. So maybe that is a way now to get people, you know, everybody in the world to get vaccinated. As long as you want to travel, you got to take the vaccine. Because this coronavirus is so deadly, and nobody know when you're gonna revamp over this world. So maybe that is the strategy they got to use now, that to get everybody to take the vaccine. I mean, to be truthful, I believe that the Minister of Culture in Nevis make a good decision to change the culture into a next forum, because now we spread off down here with Corona in St Kitts. We got community spread. Nevis only have 18. And you know that when Culturama is, we go up and we support. Kitty Shan go up and support and do whatsoever. We bands them go up and entertain themselves too. And you know, people going up and want to hear the local band them from down here play. And you know that Cantamiko, Kitty Shan going over and they're going to behavior, they're going to drink the alcohol, all they know it's COVID. They're going to try to blend, talk in one another's face and do all kind of things. So I believe that cooling out Culturama for sometime, a cooling out carnival and all the event them, I believe that is very good, especially with alcohol and things involved. I mean, in a cricket stadium or in a football stadium, everybody going in a seat, so you could be there sitting and watching your game, and you cover your little social distance the same way. Because when I put on the television what Italy and England play, I think it was Sunday, you see the amount, I think goes over 60,000 people in the stadium, and not one of them had a mask because they take the vaccine. And you got to be the vaccine is really working. You understand? And next thing I did with the AstraZeneca. I don't know, but all the same vaccine don't make up in the same thing? Devon?
No, they're not made in the same place, and they're not made with the same ingredients.
Oh, not the same ingredients. All of them got in the
No,
same.
they're all of a different quality and a differency.
No, on and on. I can't still be in that. We got to pray now. We just got to pray now. We got to pray through this thing, you know. The people, I mean, in different countries, everybody got a little different political differences against taking the vaccine, differences are wearing masks. Because you find some people saying they're going to wear a mask. You understand? Some people say some people just got the mask because of sham. They don't want to put it on because they don't believe that in the corona they say it's a man-made thing and all those things. But I believe if it's a man-made thing and you see man trying to poison you out, your body, you're supposed to protect yourself. Put on your mask, wear a mask. You understand? And I believe that we're going to get over this hurdle, you know, Devon. We're going to get over this hurdle. Only just people just stick to the protocol Can't you? Do we social distance? Do the non-pharmaceutical measures? And everything will be safe. You understand? Look how much cases we have. And look how much done get back to the ordinary thing. I don't believe I'm going to get corona on the I don't believe I'm going to get it, right? You know the reason why I don't believe I'm going to get it? I use my vitamin C every morning. I do everything. I use my Tanman. You see Tanman? Tanman is a good thing. Every morning I take a cup of Tanman tea. I just mix thing and check some canned pepper in it and drink that. And they had a bad cough. Bad cough. And when my neighbor, when my neighbor hear me down here cough, she must say I got corona. She must be saying that, my neighbor them. But what? Me and I no corona, but just that, you know, I got lax. I'm going to go to something, I get a lot of wet, go look for the animals, them and so on. A little cough come down on me and, you know, I take me vitamin C, use me orange, use me lime. Sometimes I take a little local ham and with some lime, and I drink it. You know, and my body feel good, me feel good. So people, man, let me just do what we got to do and forget about the ignorance. The ignorance wouldn't get us nowhere. So now, let's get to God. God is the only one we got to put our trust into. We can't put our trust in John Macaulay. We can't let John Macaulay them done what they done do. But God demand wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding to follow our Bible. The Bible is here to follow. You understand? Is man wickedness again and man ignorance. That's why God is what God is like this. All right then.
All right, Carla, thank you so much for your contribution. We're just a few minutes before the hour of 1 before we take that break to say thank you to the sponsors for this program. We are still taking calls. We are still taking your calls. Let us take some calls at this time. You're listening to Voices on WINN FM 98.9, and I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. It is 7 minutes before the hour of 1 here in the studios of WINN FM 98.9. The numbers to call are 466-0989. It is the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. I know many people not like to hear about this conversation, but this has become the new normal, where in almost everything that we do, the talk of vaccination, the talk of COVID-19 would come up, you know. We have a caller on the line, so let us take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are live on Voices.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Listen, I just want you just listen to me. Listen to me. The way you're making a noise or anything. No. What has happened is that God did not intend for us to die. But in order to live forever, if Adam and Eve had obeyed what the Almighty had told him, we will live forever. So my main argument is, I mean, you can't force people to do what they want to do. If the fellow ain't want to do this, he do that is a matter to he. He must make his own decisions. So personally for me, I am one who I don't agree with people forcing me to do what I don't want to do. How that sound? Hello?
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, every day, every country have their own rules and regulations. But as people, you know people, there is no man perfect, right? There is no man perfect. And just allow people to make their own decision. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. It's just 5 minutes before the hour. We are going to take some more callers. Remember, the numbers to call are 4660989. Do we have a call on the line? No, we seem not to have a call on the line at this time. It's 5 minutes before the hour of 1 before we take a break. Okay, we have a caller. Let us take this call. No, we have a call on the line. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
I want to know you want to carry out the sheep, man. I'm here calling. I'm troubling you as usual. Now, you make a choice. You live with it. The person who took the vaccine made a choice too, you know. I don't think some of us get it. You make a choice. The same thing if you want to get your green card. You have to go get all your vaccine, your x-ray, your whatever. Now, if you decide you're not going to do anything, you can't blame the U.S. Embassy for not giving you the card. Is that so? You can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, yeah?
Yes, I think a lot of us are hearing about, oh, they're discriminating. You cannot call it discrimination. It's your choice. Nobody forcing you. You know. I mean, they had, West Indies have played games in, I think it was St. Lucia, Grenada, Antigua. Well, if you know you want to go, and that is the criteria. It's like some people want to go to heaven their own way, you know. God have his way how you come. Well, I ain't in that. I don't walk my way and hope. You can't control two sides. You make a choice, you live with it. And this thing about, oh, you can't make people. No, but you should reason with them. After you reason and they don't, leave them alone. They will only learn now they hear the conditions. They either get the vaccination or they don't get it still. But don't be out there, so they're cursing and carrying on. Although they must boycott this and boycott that. When you're boycotting, you're on the outside. In case you did not know. The function will be going on. You see, when England played, I think it was Portugal. A lot of them are outside, so they're protesting while the game going on. You have the Olympics coming up. It's only vaccinated people. And I don't understand why we can't understand that. You're talking about health. It's health you're talking about, you know. And it's 4 million gone already. 4. So some of us look like the devil sent us. So we just want to be in a position where we could infect other people. And to protect yourself. So I don't see a lot of big debate and argument. You make a choice, you live with it. You want to take it, you take it. Nobody could make you take it. You don't want to take it, don't take it. When they say who have it come, you go. The same thing you can't decide, well, I ain't going to wait in a CXC. It's exam. I ain't going nowhere to them. I ain't going nowhere. Nobody can make me go. And then you're still looking for your paper to say your past subjects. We got to learn to be rational. You understand? What is the rate? What is the vaccination rate for our country, both first dose and second doses? I'll hang up to only tell me.
Right. Thank you so much for your contribution. I do not have the information with me. Let me check. Okay. So the latest, we'll take a break at 1, so I'll take no calls at this time. So the latest vaccination report dated Tuesday, July 13th, 2021, suggests that 19,119 persons have been fully vaccinated. So they have taken both the first and second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, the total doses administered stand at 42,250. 42,250. This is how many doses in total have been administered. For Nevis, of that total, 9,665, and for St Kitts, 32,558. So in other words, the fully vaccinated or the second dose stand at 57.9%, and the first dose stands at 70%. Now, I realized there was some misunderstanding from our people with regards to this chart. I'll try my best to explain when we come back after this short break. Let's take this break to say thank you to our sponsors. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to WINN FM 98.9.
Run to Hospice Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. By popular demand, Cashback is back, but this time Cashback is back with more quality appliances, more great prices and fantastic deals, more of Hospice's fabulous FlexPay payment plan, and more free groceries. a whole year of free groceries. Come to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store today and get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. Great deals on furniture and appliances. Get cash back for free groceries with FlexPay hire purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year with every $500 spent. All great reasons to shop at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store this coupon season. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Here are your Hosford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials from July 15 through 28. 32-ounce Gatorade, just $4.99. Hawaiian Punch drinks, $11.99. Danone and Activia yogurts, 4 packs, fit and light, just $12.99. Cole's garlic bread, toast, $12.99. Granola bars, just $10.99 per pack. Pastaroni or rice-a-roni, just $4.99. And now, our very low weekly value deal. Essential Everyday and IGA Honey Beer, $12.99. Breyers Ice Cream, 48 ounces, just $20.99. Colgate Toothpaste, $9.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Good afternoon, welcome back to Voices on WINN FM 98.9. I'm going to close the phone lines for a short moment, and I'm going to try my best to explain this vaccination report card, or this vaccination report that we have. Now, I realize that some people were not clear on their interpretation of the vaccine report or the vaccination report. I've witnessed on several occasions where people have said that the numbers are not off. I too thought that the numbers are off. I too thought that the numbers were off. However, I did some research, I asked a few questions, and this is my take on it, which is pretty straightforward, but let me try to break it down for you. So the target population, right, is 70%. In other words, 33,037 persons is the target population. So, put it simple, 33,037 persons would have to take both doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine in order for us to achieve herd immunity. However, the total doses administered to date stand at 42,250. Now, questions were raised as to how come the total doses is more than the target population. No. That question, what should I say? Okay. So, the 42,000 is not, the 42,000 is just how many doses they've given out. So essentially, in order for you to find out how many doses have been given out to the fully vaccinated, if you have 19,119 persons fully vaccinated, you times that by 2, right? So essentially, while the target population is the 33,000, that means the number would have to be 33,000 in order for us to achieve the herd immunity. So if 33,037 persons take both doses of the vaccine, let me break that down. So 33,037 times 2, that will be 66,074. So the total doses, according to my calculator, should be at 66,074 if we get to herd immunity. If we get to herd immunity. So I hope that you guys understand. So the target population is 33. That's the target population, not the total doses administered. Target population is the 33,000. So of that 33,000, each one of them has to take 2 doses. They would have to take 2 doses, which would equal to 6674 doses administered. I hope that we understand what it means now. As it is now, only 19,000 people have taken both doses, according to this chart. Only 19,000 persons have taken the both doses. It's 7 minutes past the hour of 1. We're going to open the phone lines again to take some more calls. The numbers to call are 466-0989. Let us take some calls here on WINN FM's Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Very interesting conversation we are having here regarding, this whole vaccination thing. As you mentioned before, whether you take the vaccine, you see, taking the vaccine is a personal decision, a personal choice. But, it comes with risks. And so you take it, there are risks. You don't take it, there are risks. That's simple. It's very, very simple. Some are of the opinion that employers or people should not be forced to take the vaccine. Some are of the opinion. Now, I remember I had a conversation the other day with someone about, this whole vaccination versus unvaccinated, and in terms of, employees suggesting that employees should be vaccinated. Now, we understand that when you take the vaccine, it significantly reduces your risk of contracting COVID. So it reduces the risk of contracting COVID, number one. Number two, if you catch the virus, as a vaccinated person, the science says that you have an increased chance of not becoming severely ill. So you may have a workplace where majority of the staff or half of the staff have been fully vaccinated. Now they catch COVID. Now, based on that, if this vaccinated person pass on the virus to an unvaccinated person who has an immune system that is weak, then you're in some trouble. Because if your immune system is not strong enough to fight off the virus, you don't have a vaccine, then you are in some trouble. So perhaps that is why, or that is the logic behind employers suggesting people taking the vaccine. I've heard people say, oh, if you take the vaccine, that's not stop you from catching the COVID, so we're going to take it for. Let me know which vaccine could prevent you from catching a disease. It reduces your risk. And so where you may have in the future, where you may have in the past 10 out of 10 catching the virus, you may have a situation now where only 2 or 1 out of the 10 catching the virus. So the vaccine is not a silver bullet. You take the vaccine and all your problems go away. And you could walk about the place without following any protocols. You take the vaccine and it provides a layer or a level of protection. That is what the health officials have said and have been saying. Let's take this call. We have a caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon. You are live.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
No, I'm not taking calls offline at this time. You can send me a WhatsApp or a voice note at 662-2204. Hello? Yes, this is the on-air number. So please send me a WhatsApp at 662-2204. 662-2204. You can send a text message or you can send a voice note, and I will check for that message once you do so. We are still taking calls here on WINN FM 98.9. Call us and be a part of this conversation today. So I think that is the rationale behind the argument, you know. But I just want persons to understand that the vaccine is not a silver bullet, and the vaccine is not going to solve all of your problems. It's not going to solve all of your problems. So it's not that you take the vaccine today and then you go walk out and you're good. I was listening to the CMO who gave a very good example of this whole vaccine thing. She was saying, look at the vaccine as you wearing your seatbelt. Now, we know you wear your seatbelt, you're in your car. Your car is equipped with all the fancy mechanisms, the best mechanisms, the airbag, the braking system, the alarm where if you hit something, call the ambulance right away, you know, things like that. Would it prevent you from dying? No. But it significantly increases your chance of not dying. And so it wouldn't prevent an accident from happening. It wouldn't prevent the car from going over the cliff. But at least you know when you go over the cliff with a seatbelt on and the airbags and all of that coming out, it provides a layer of protection. Versus you in the car going 100 miles per hour, no airbags, no seatbelt, then you know you're gonna you might probably die unless there's a miracle. So that is what I think. That was a very good explanation for this vaccination thing. But there's still risks, because sometimes you know you put on your seatbelt, you have the airbag system, and look at it, you might be doing all of this to protect yourself in the event of a car crash. And is when you put on all these things, you end up in a worse situation, you know, where the impact of the airbag kills you and the seatbelt choke you. But let's not go down that road. But I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible. As realistic as possible. There will always be risks and consequences to every decision that we make. Every decision that we make. It's 15 minutes past the hour of 1. If we have no calls at this time, let's say thank you to the sponsors for this program. When we come back, we are going to open up our phone lines again and we're going to take some calls. Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
Run to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. By popular demand, Cashback is back. But this time, Cashback is back with more quality appliances, more great prices and fantastic deals, more of Hosford's fabulous FlexPay payment plan, and more free groceries. A whole year of free groceries. Come to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store today and get absolutely free groceries with every higher purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. Great deals on furniture and appliances. Get cash back for free groceries with FlexPay higher purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year with every $500 spent. All great reasons to shop at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store this coupon season. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials from July 15 through 28. 32-ounce Gatorade, just $4.99. Hawaiian Punch drinks, $11.99. Dannon and Activia yogurts, 4 packs, fit and light, just $12.99. Cole's garlic bread, toast, $12.99. Granola bars, just $10.99 per pack. Pastaroni or rice-a-roni, just $4.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Essential Everyday and IGA Honey Beer, $12.99. Breyers Ice Cream, 48 ounces, just $20.99. Colgate Toothpaste, $9.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Voices. This is WINN FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We are just 18 minutes past the hour of 1 here in the studios of WINN FM 98.9, and we are winding down. You know, we are going to wrap up our program at 1:30. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your schedule to be a part of this program here today. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. It has been and always has been a pleasure of hosting this program and, of course, interacting with you, members of the public, with your very strong and meaningful opinions and sentiments and how you feel about a particular topic or a particular issue. I'm going to try and take as much calls as possible before we wrap up at 1:30. So if you want to call in, this is the time to do so now. We are currently experiencing some difficulties with our phone lines, so let me apologize for that inconvenience. Nevertheless, keep trying and we'll try to get you in. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air.
Yes, good afternoon. I like what you said, the last thing you said before you went to commercial. So in other words, you're at the mercies of God. So I would like to tell people the word of God is appointed unto man to die, after that come the judgment. So prepare for death and prepare for the judgment. You have a good day.
Contribution to this program. It is just 10 minutes before the hour, before we end. We are still taking calls. 466-0989 is the number to call. Call us quickly so we can get you into this program. As I said, we are experiencing some difficulties with the phone lines, so let me apologize for that. However, keep trying and we will try as much as possible to get you into this program. We have a caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are live on.
Yes, good afternoon, my Christian sister. Of course we need to prepare for death and for judgment. But the Bible says, occupy until he comes. Do something until he comes. We can't just sit down and we say, but we're satisfied. No. We got to win others. And we have got to help people to come out of this deception. Because deception has increased. Now, the matter with Cuba, that's what I want to talk about. Now, Cuba blamed the U.S., and I believe, well, anybody with sense know, the U.S. must have had some hand in it. In fact, the embargo, and even beyond the embargo, when you create dissatisfaction in people, anything will happen. Look in Venezuela. They put on the pressure to almost starve the people of Venezuela. Well, they know a hungry man is an angry man. It's just that, you know. But Cuba's got to trust somebody. I mean, you can't see every face is an American. You have CARICOM who thing. But the trouble, the trouble now is that everybody having hard life. But at least I am still thinking that the countries in CARICOM should maybe get together, you know, and send something to the people of Cuba. You don't think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Cuba is in a situation, you know, Cuba has always been faced with challenges, and some people seems as if CARICOM and other organizations are afraid to intervene.
People saying, look, they can't get vaccine. Cuba has, what, 11 million people? So while you're waiting, it's like the same thing with in India. India was supplying other people. Next thing, there was a big outbreak in their country. They had to stop. You know, so I am praying for them, praying for the people all over, because so much things going on in Haiti. Haiti is another cup of sorrow. Imagine the U.S., the people who organized this thing came from the U.S., and yet I think the Senate in Haiti asked the U.S. to come in and bring some forces to help to restore order. I mean, we asked for the hangman and they work together.
Mm.
Because remember, you know, when the Venezuela thing, it was linked all the way back to the White House, you know. The group that went in with the opposition leader, trying to take out Maduro. It's the same thing. The mere idea comes and it is in a stronghold of the other Cubans. And rulers must understand that people need freedom too. Not just freedom to eat or freedom to go to school. Once you educate a man, he is now thinking, eh? And they had Wi-Fi or whatever, and they see many of them travel out to other countries and they see how other people live. And they desire the same thing. So they have got to make some more. They have been making adjustments. Even in China, China used to be rigid like that, but they now allow some private enterprise, because unless your people are able to do what they want to do to enrich themselves, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have to repress them. So I am wondering, what next for Cuba? What next? All right then.
All right, thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. It is 1:24. We'll try to take as much calls as possible right up until the end time. Let's take some callers. Remember, the numbers are 466-0989, and we are taking your calls. Do you have any callers in the line? Okay, we have no callers at this time. Let us take. We'll try to take as much calls as possible. Okay, we seem to have a caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're live on Voices.
Yeah, good afternoon again, brother. You hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you have a business, right, and the workers, them got a problem with the worker. He ain't believe in using toothpaste. He ain't believe in using toothbrush. He ain't believe in using cologne and roll-on and all those things. And he got a hygiene problem. And the workers, them, got a problem with it. And the customers of your business got a problem when they come by, they got a problem with it. And this bacteria, this sense, bothering them. And what you will do the worker, because he don't believe in using those things. Them things that the thing he believe in just reality, in aeration as you call it. So what you, as a businessman, will do with that worker? Well, you put him in the land to work. Or you will excuse him from your job because you got to let the business move on.
That's a very good point, caller.
Yeah. All right, then I just want to tell my good friend in Canary, Connecticut, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Canary. I am your trainer. I am your train, man. I will God to tell you. I just want when you come to St Kitts that I want to meet you and when you go to have a nice breakfast and nice lunch and we sit down and we discuss the Bible. I always impressed with you. Love you. But everyone, you have a wonderful day. God bless.
Okay, you have a good one too, caller, and take.
All right.
Yeah, you take care as well. Thank you so much for your contribution. We are still taking calls. It is just 4 minutes before our end time. We'll try to see if we could get another caller in the numbers. The number to call at this time is 466-0989. The 662 number is also working, so it's 662-0989. We have a caller on the line. Let's take this call.
Hello. Tell me something.
Hello, caller.
Hello, you listen?
Yes.
You believe that Cuba is a wealthy country?
If I believe Cuba is a wealthy country, I really don't know.
Yes. You believe so?
No, I really don't know.
I'm just asking you because, you see, what's that? Is that some people envy people, you know, and some people envy people because as I
caller, turn down your radio.
All right, listen, let me look up. As I was reading something the other day, and what it said, Isaac was a wealthy man, and because he was a wealthy man, the Philistines them had envied his prosperity, and because of that, they lock off, they stop the wells that Isaac was depending in order to water his flocks and herds. So I wanted it. I don't even envy Cuba then. If they stand for what they believe in, I have to stand for their rights. What you think? Hello?
What do I think about? Sorry, repeat that.
I said, what do you think? As I asked the first question. You don't ask my first question. Do you believe that Cuba is a wealthy country?
And I answered you, and I told you I don't know. Well, I don't think so.
I said, believe. I didn't ask you if you don't. You just say if you don't know. It's just if you don't believe, you don't believe. Because, and then I went on to tell you, using Isaac as a reference with the Philistines there, they stopped him. He's shut down his well because he can't get to feed the cows them. So I don't know if Cuba is doing whatever do and America don't want to help. What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, I see.
You see the logic? You have not
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from, yes.
You see where I'm coming from? Oh, wait, thank you. Why don't you see where I'm coming from? That's what, because that's what happens. People just envy people. That's the world today. I don't know why. For some people prosper, some don't prosper, but if you can help. If you can't help, leave the people alone then. End it.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and thank you, caller, so much for your contribution. We are at the end of this program, so we're going to begin wrapping up. Let me say thank you to all of you for joining, and thank you so much for your calls and contribution to this program. This has been another edition of Inside of Voices. This has been another edition of Voices on WINN FM 98.9. I've been your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good one.
Run to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. By popular demand, Cash Back is back. But this time, Cash Back is back with more quality appliances, more great prices and fantastic deals, more of Hosford's fabulous FlexPay payment plan, and more free groceries. a whole year of free groceries. Come to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store today and get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. Great deals on furniture and appliances. Get cash back for free groceries with FlexPay hire purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year with every $5